What's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy Action Jackson, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about Zack Martin, his money, and also future contracts that the Dallas Cowboys need to be working on. And so before we hop into the video, I would appreciate if you guys would like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment, and share my video with anyone who you think will enjoy my content. So first thing that I was originally going to talk about before I started recording this video was that I was going to talk about Denzel Mims and how his name was connected with the Dallas Cowboys, and how I think that the Cowboys should have pursued him, but too late. He got swooped up by the Lions, and that's a really good pickup for the Lions right there. Him having, being with the Jets, same thing. It's always that saying come draft season, it's not when you get selected, where you get selected. He had a bad situation with Sam Darnold, Joe Flacco, just, a circus at quarterback where he never got established within the team, and then the quarterback play wasn't really that great. So Denzel Mims never really had a shot to go out and really show his true potential when he was coming out of Baylor. Before, even if we had even went to pursue Denzel Mims, I would wanted the Dallas Cowboys to take care of in-house stuff before they wanted to fix anything out of house. So really with me, for when it comes to Zack Martin, there's not much really to discuss. A constant pro on and off the field, a proven leader, the best guard in football, and he has been that ever since he's been drafted since 2014. I believe the 1 year when he did face significant injuries, which was 2020, that was just a horrible year overall by the Dallas Cowboys. But every other year than that, he's been all pro, Pro Bowler, PFF ranked him #1 guard. So, Zack Martin is a consistent pro. He's just a consistent professional and easily our best offensive lineman. But there's not much really to talk about there. He's going to have a cap hit of $11 million this year, and then he's going to have a significant cap hit in 2028, which is around close to $29 million. He's going to be making $28.3 million come the offseason of 2024. So I think Dallas Cowboys just need to restructure him, and he's basically saying that he's been disrespected on pay and that he's making more. He's playing above what he's being paid, and you can't knock that down, especially if you're at your job. Everything, the NFL is just a glorified career. If you're making more than what you're being paid in your regular job, then of course you want to get paid to what you're actually doing. You don't want to do above and beyond for the company and they're paying you pennies on a dollar. So now I think that, I'm going to talk about who needs to be getting paid on the offensive side of the ball. Then we'll transition into defense. So sticking within the offensive line, I know you got center Tyler Biadasz who needs to get paid as well. Not to the same degree as a Zack Martin, because Tyler Biadasz isn't there yet as a Hall of Famer or anything. But of course, if he keeps working at it, consistent, and he keeps having the stats that he does have right now, like he hasn't allowed a career sack, he doesn't have a lot of penalties and things of that nature. He does have a Pro Bowl underneath his belt. No All Pros just yet, but and I think that for Tyler Biadasz, he needs to get paid as well. He got drafted in 2020, the same year as CeeDee Lamb and Trayvon Diggs. Biadasz, pay him now, because the Dallas Cowboys overall, I'm going to talk about their history and how they've been losing in negotiations, but Tyler Biadasz needs to get paid, and you don't have to pay him top of the line center money, center market money anyway. He is a really great center, but you don't have to pay him that amount of money. Like Creed Humphrey, Jason Kelsey, they're going to see that type of money, but I don't think Tyler Biadasz will. Depends on the Cowboys and their negotiating skills. And if Tyler Biadasz has an All-Pro, Pro Bowl season, and it's part of the reason why we go deep in the playoffs, then that price is going to elevate. And then also, right tackle, you need to take care of Terrence Steele. He wasn't that great in 2020. In the first half of 2020, he got better in the back half of that season. 21, he did really great filling in for La'el Collins when La'el Collins got suspended for 6 games. And then he did a really great job in 22 for the, again, the first half leading up to that game, that Houston Texans game. He was one of our best offensive linemen, arguably our second best offensive lineman. When he was in there, that right side was graded elite in all the metrics. And every time we had big run gains, it was to that right side. Obviously, you run behind Zack Martin, great things happen. But Terrence Steele also helped out in that end as well. So fixing that and mostly getting your offensive line paid is great, especially knowing that you need to get younger at the offensive line position, because soon Tyron Smith is going to be out the door. This might be his last year. And then depending on what you do with Zack Martin. He's 32 years old, and you got to figure he has at least another 4 to 5 years of playing at an all-pro elite level. So you got to take care of that end. So again, fix your front five. Quarterback, you need to restructure his contract because his next 2 cap hits are going to be anywhere about 30 million plus. I think the highest he gets to in 1 year is close to about 60. That contract. Tony Pollard, I don't know what we're going to do with running back. If they have learned their lesson, we're not going to spend big money at the running back position. Receiver, CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb, we wanted him to be the #1 wide receiver, and we asked him to quickly be that as soon as we let go of Amari Cooper and Cedric Wilson, and we gave Gallup a contract, but we knew he wasn't going to be able to be the same until this year. But not really going to talk about that Gallup situation, but still, we came in. Again, same thing with all these guys I'm talking about. Constant pros on and off the field. Every single time that Dallas Cowboys have gave in big contracts to your star guys, you know, they've never been knuckleheads off the field. So all the guys that deserve their contracts has never been in trouble. So I think CeeDee Lamb, again, all-pro, type of receiver, easily top 10 wide receiver in this league. Great on the outside, inside. So I feel like he needs to get his money, and whatever he needs, he's going to get. I feel like with CeeDee Lamb, because again, we've experienced life without having a CeeDee Lamb, and you just look at 2018 when we didn't have a real wide receiver, and we were going out there with Deontay Thompson, Allen Hurns, Trayvon Austin, Gallup, who was a rookie. He didn't fully turn into the pro that he is now, or that he was in 2019, and how well he was playing. Cole Beasley was 5'8", still a really great slot receiver, but he wasn't 5'8" with 4.2 speed, you know. So he was still a really great receiver, but as soon as we got Amari Cooper, that wide receiver core blossomed, and that entire offense had changed. So pay CeeDee Lamb. He deserves the money that he's getting. Dak, Biotis, Martin, and Steele, they definitely deserve their money. Now, defensively, who needs to get paid right now is Trayvon Diggs. He was selected in the 2nd round. So 2nd round all the way to 7th rounds, they get 4-year contracts. If you're undrafted, you get a 3-year contract. It's about time that he does get paid, and he's finally the corner that we've been looking for, you know. So I think and then again, this is another player, CeeDee Lamb. Like I said, I already talked about how we lived life without him, how bad it was until we got Amari Cooper. And then now you look at it with Trayvon Diggs. We know life, what it was like without having a real bona fide corner. We had Jadobe Awuzie, who was really good for us, and he showed and proved that with the Cincinnati Bengals. Jordan Lewis was significant coming out of Michigan, really solid. But those guys aren't like Trayvon Diggs, you know. And Trayvon Diggs was he's the same thing, constant professional on and off the field. Great leader, great dad, great brother, everything. So I think that also he needs to get paid, and he hasn't done what a quarterback has did for like the past 40 years in 21 by getting 11 interceptions, because that was our main problem that we didn't like with Byron Jones. We drafted Byron Jones 2015 in the 1st round. We wanted him to be a ball hawking corner coming out of Connecticut. He wasn't that. He was that great lockdown corner where he wasn't going to get major plays off of him. He wasn't going to let you. He wasn't going to let you get, easy yardage, or wasn't going to allow any of that. He blossomed again his rookie year by shutting down Gronk to only 2 catches for 50 yards, and that 1 catch for that major yardage that he did gain was a blown coverage and missed assignment. But Byron Jones was really great for us. Then we had a lot of problems picking out whether he was a corner or a safety. And then when we finally put him at corner, he was an all-pro, Pro Bowler type of player. So, we know what life was like without him. He would never turn around to catch the interceptions. I think he only had 4 or 5 interceptions his entire tenure with the Dallas Cowboys. And you look at it with Trayvon Diggs, just these past 2 years, has 14 interceptions. So, and then if you want to knock him for his 2021 year, that 1,000 yards, okay, cool. That was never a stat that was really tracked until a Dallas Cowboy quarterback was soon to be breaking a record. And then you look at it with last year, he lowered the yardage, lowered the interceptions, but nobody was throwing at 7. Everyone was throwing at Anthony Brown, Deron Bland, Jordan Lewis, and then once Anthony Brown went down and Jordan Lewis was already gone, same thing with a major significant injury, everyone was throwing at Xavier Woods, Kelvin Joseph, Nashawn Wright. So we know what it's like to not have a true number one corner, and I think Dallas Cowboys need to stop playing games and they have to pay him. And Dez Bryant, Ring of Honor guy. I don't think he'll probably make the Hall of Fame. He might be a Hall of Fame in some of your guys' heart. He'll be a Hall of Famer in my heart. But, you know, I love what he did for the Cowboys, but he no longer is a Cowboy. He doesn't work in this front office. All he does is support a player. At this point, he's just a fan. He's just $1 million Cowboy fan. That's all what Dez Bryant is. Dez Bryant has always been a Cowboy fan his entire life before he even wore the star. So he knows what it is with the Dallas Cowboys, right? So with Dez Bryant, I don't like him saying, because I know he was he was on a space last night. He was talking about Trayvon Diggs and saying how Trayvon Diggs doesn't want to break the Cowboys' neck by a major contract. But if I'm Trayvon Diggs, I'll tell Dez Bryant that anyway. See, Trayvon Diggs is getting top 5 cornerback, top 3 cornerback money. If it's me, if I'm his agent, I'm getting him top 3, top 5 money. But let's just say, for instance, we'll play the game that Dez Bryant said about how he doesn't want to break their neck. Okay, cool. He'll take anywhere from that pay cut of 13, depending on what the yearly salary is for a cornerback. He still wants to have a lot of guaranteed money, which is what a lot of NFL contracts and what a lot of NFL players are keen in on. They don't really care about the number that's going to be posted all over the internet. It's a guarantee. The money that you know that if you don't play another down, that the team still has to pay you. So that's what the guaranteed money is for these players. It's like gold for them. It's like gold for everybody. So Trevon Diggs really cares about the guaranteed money, but of course, if he takes a pay cut, Dallas Cowboys better use that money, whether it is helping Trayvon Diggs and Michael Parsons getting more defensive help, whether it's helping Ford and 88 on the offensive side, or whether you use that money to save up and go pay Michael Parsons dang near $500 million. So if he's not going to try to break nobody's neck with his contract, Dallas Cowboys better use that money wisely. But also, it's cheaper to pay him now than later. Again, I'm about to quickly get into Dallas Cowboys losing the negotiation and how it's cheaper to pay players today than it is next year. So, and you for sure don't want to have him playing on attack for sure. So, really, with the Dez Bryant situation, you know, he had talks with Trayvon Diggs and whatever. So, really, with the Dallas Cowboys, they always lose negotiations. All this one I'm about to say is Googleable information. So first off, we'll start with our quarterback. Or you know what, I'm talking about our running back first because that's the topic of conversation about the running back position. Zeke in 2019 was due for a big contract. He deserved it. 2016, he had almost 2,000 yards in scrimmage, but really he got around like 1,700, 1,800 yards. His rookie year, phenomenal rookie year. Easily should have won Offensive Rookie of the Year. I know Dak won it, but I felt like Zeke should have won. He was easily the best running back in the league that year. 2017, he had 800 yards, and if he doesn't get suspended in those 6 games, he easily eclipsed another 1,400 yards and scrimmage yards altogether. 2018 was the vocal point of our team for the first 7-8 weeks, mainly that entire season, but he was mainly our offensive production since we didn't have Amari Cooper. And then 2019 was due for a big contract. And the Dallas Cowboys even said that they said in the media multiple times how they weren't going to reset the market and give him top of the line running back money. They did. They folded. And they even had clowned him and said that, you know, Zeke could when we had drafted Tony Pollard that same offseason. So Zeke knew what time it was. And he knew he had to get his money. They said they weren't going to do it. Cowboys folded him, gave him a 5-year, $90 million contract with $50 million guaranteed. You could have got him for a lot cheaper, I feel like, or hindsight tells you that you should have paid him anyway. But back then, I was saying for sure you pay a running back and you pay Zeke, especially with him and how great he showed you that he was his first 3 years. Then you look at it, the person who shared the backfield with him with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, after that Rams game when the Rams ran us out the building with a 400-pound running back and then a running back on one knee, when they ran us out the building and Dak Prescott had a solid playoff run, you know, with those 2 games, beating Seattle, then one rushing overall offense and just a really good Russell Wilson team, and they were really great. You know, they were the 5 seed, they're the best wild card team of that season. You know, then the Rams, they won the Super Bowl that year, being at 13-3. Then you also look at it that, you know, they wanted to pay Dak Prescott anywhere from $25 to $30 million after they have given him a 4-year, $120 million contract. They already said what the price tag they initially wanted, and they even said that they overpaid. But what's funny is that you could have paid Dak Prescott after that LA Ram game and could have gave him 30 million, 31 million. He might have been the highest paid player at that point. But you look at all the other contracts that had surpassed Dak Prescott's, or at the time when Dak Prescott wasn't paid, you know, Kirk Cousins was making around like 28, 29. Then you had Rodgers, who was coming up on a deal. Russell Wilson reset the contract with 35 million. Then you had Goff, Wentz, who eclipsed like 36, 33 million. I know Goff had around 33, 34 million. I know Wentz had 37, 36. Then you got to think about Dak Prescott had set the market with 40. Then that's when all the quarterbacks like Kyler, Mahomes, and all those other guys reset the market and everything like that. So you could have got Dak Prescott for a lot cheaper. You didn't. You could have got Zeke for a lot cheaper. You didn't. Then defensively, they said they weren't going to pay DeMarcus Lawrence. They even said that he isn't like Khalil Mack. He's not a Khalil Mack type of player that you need to be paying. They folded and they paid him. So Dallas Cowboys, they fold in a lot of situations. So why not be preventative and sign your guys to major contracts now? They'll be less on the cap and you can still get the money they want. Pay them now and it won't be a problem. And we know what life was like before. Trayvon Diggs, Michael Parsons, but specifically we're talking about contracts now. Trayvon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, Zack Martin, Terrence Steele. Be honest, we know what life was like without those guys. Mainly Diggs and Lamb. We know what it was without those two guys, so pay them for sure. So that's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed.